Choosing where to live, it's one of the biggest decisions we ever make, right? It's so much more than just four walls and a roof. It's about the entire life that you're signing up for. So today, we're going to dive into a classic West Knoxville dilemma, Farragut versus Hardin Valley.
And here's the thing. When you're just looking at a map, it can all kind of blur together. But the real question isn't just what you're looking for, it's how you want your day-to-day life to actually feel. And that is exactly what we're going to break down.
So this brings us to our two main characters in this story. In one corner, you've got Farragut, the established traditionalist, the one with deep historic roots. And in the other, you have Hardin Valley, the modern newcomer, a community that's been built from the ground up with recent growth in mind.
Now, what's really wild is that these two areas are, literally minutes apart from each other. But they represent two completely different philosophies of how a suburb should grow and what it should feel like. Understanding that difference, well, that's everything.
Let's just get this out of the way right now. There is no wrong answer here. Both of these places are absolutely top tier. We're talking fantastic schools, beautiful neighborhoods, rock-solid stability. The choice really, truly boils down to which daily experience, which rhythm of life is the right one for you.
All right, let's kick things off with the big one, the topic that drives so many decisions around here, the schools. For a lot of families, this is, without a doubt, the #1 factor that decides where they're going to plant their roots.
And if you just look at it on paper, the school paths are both incredibly strong. In Farragut, you've got this deeply rooted progression, right from primary all the way up to high school, a path that families have literally followed for generations. Hardin Valley has its own parallel modern track, leading up to its incredible state-of-the-art academy. Quality, that's a given in both.
But the real difference isn't about the academics, it's about the vibe. Farragut schools are just steeped in tradition. We're talking about a powerful alumni network and programs that have been around forever. Hardin Valley, on the other hand, it's got that new school energy, right? The facilities are modern, and the whole community is kind of growing up together right alongside the schools. It's really a choice between an established legacy and a fresh, emerging energy.
Okay, so now let's talk about where you'd actually live, the homes themselves. Because, wow, the architecture and the way the neighborhoods are laid out, they really tell the story of how each of these places grew up, and this is where you can physically see the difference. This quote from the source material just nails it perfectly. When it comes to the house you're going to buy, you are very often making a decision between two things, character or convenience. So let's dig into what that actually means.
And this just lays it out so clearly. So character in Farragut, that means you get those larger lots, the big, beautiful, mature trees, and a whole mix of different home styles, many of which have amazing potential for a renovation project. Convenience in Hardin Valley, that means you're getting that open floor plan everyone wants, the modern kitchen, and an energy-efficient home that is totally move-in ready from day one.
So how does that translate to your wallet? What does your money actually buy you in these two places? Well, in Farragut, a big chunk of the price is a premium for that amazing location, the big lot and the stability of that school zone. Over in Hardin Valley, buyers feel like their budget gets them more functional, modern living space. It's not about which one is better value. It's just a different definition of what value is.
Okay, we've talked schools, we've talked houses, but what about your actual life? The Saturday morning errands, the commute to work, the weekend fun. How does that all look?
Farragut's lifestyle is very centralized. You have this one massive hub, Turkey Creek, where you can get literally everything done. Shopping, restaurants, movies, it's all right there. Super efficient. Hardin Valley's approach is the complete opposite. It's more distributed. You got grocery stores and little local shops woven throughout the neighborhoods, which means you often don't have to go very far for your daily stuff.
And this table right here clarifies the commute, which, let's be honest, is a huge deal for so many of us. If you work in West Knoxville, Farragut is kind of a no-brainer. But, and this is a big but, Hardin Valley has this secret weapon, the Pellissippi Parkway. It gives you this amazing flexibility, especially for families where one person's headed to Knoxville and the other is going toward Oak Ridge. It is a total game changer.
And check this out. That same idea, centralized versus woven, even applies to how you have fun outdoors. Farragut is famous for its incredible destination parks, like Mayor Bob Leonard Park. It's where the whole community comes together for big events and organized sports. In Hardin Valley, the green space is actually woven into the neighborhoods, with greenways and local parks that feel like they're just an extension of your own backyard.
Okay,
We have thrown a lot at you: schools, homes, daily life. So how in the world do you put all this together to make a choice that's right for you? Let's build that personal filter.
Let's put it this way. Farragut is probably your jam if you really value that established neighborhood feel with the character, the mature trees, the larger lots. If the idea of a single, super efficient hub for all your shopping sounds amazing, and you're drawn to those long-standing community traditions, then yeah, Farragut is checking all your boxes.
On the flip side, you might be a Hardin Valley person if you find yourself drawn to a newer, move-in-ready home in a community that was intentionally planned from the start. If that balanced commute to both Knoxville and Oak Ridge is a huge plus, and you just love the idea of neighborhoods being directly connected to schools and parks, your answer is probably in Hardin Valley.
And that really brings us to the core of this whole thing. The best choice isn't going to be found on some spreadsheet or a pro-con list. It's found by being really honest with yourself and asking how you want to spend your mornings, your evenings, and your weekends.
So ultimately, we have to stop asking, which of these incredible suburbs is better? That's the wrong question. The only question that truly matters is this one. What kind of life are you trying to build? How do you want to live?